Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pennsylvania Berwind. We are still doing some work up here at the Mill Creek Tipple, and I want to show you a couple things that I did between the last episode and this episode before we get into the time lapse. So I'm laughing because I've been trying to record this episode for about 20 minutes now, and it's like my neighbors are banging on the walls, my refrigerator's making noise, it's ridiculous. But finally I got a moment, so here we are. Anyway, here's what I got. Here's what I did in between last episode and this episode. I finished out the parking lot over here and added some more garbage and debris. Kind of dirtied the area up and made this alleyway like a little bit more, beat up and, not the type of place you really want to be living at. I also swapped out the tractor trailers for the smaller box trucks, and this is like all that I was able to find on the download station. So, I don't know. If there's more out there, somebody let me know, because this is the best that I could do. I was hoping to find more trucks like this roadway truck, maybe with just a plain white side, like a generic looking truck, but this is about all I could find. I also put in some garbage, and I found this guy too. My first human. The first person on the P&B, and he is watching us. So I thought this was a nice touch, just a nice kid hanging out down here watching the trains. It's a good spot. It's probably where I would be if I lived up in one of these ramshackle towns. But yes, so we got that. And in the meantime, since the last episode, I know it's been a while, sorry guys, one of my subscribers contacted me with some information about coal mines and the type of structures and all the details and stuff like that could be found in coal mines. Like, I guess the guy worked there. I can't remember his name right now, but I'll look it up and mention him in the time lapse. But he gave me a whole wealth of information with photos and backgrounds about what each building does and this, that, and the other thing. So I am going to take all of that knowledge and apply it to this coal mine, and we're going to get to work. So let's get right into the time lapse. Alright guys, I goofed. I'm sorry. I screwed up a little tiny bit. I just finished recording my outro, and I went to play it back, and I realized that everything that I wanted to talk about during this time lapse, I talked about in the outro. So I screwed up, rookie mistake, I'm sorry. And I don't have time to re-record the outro, so I'm going to try to cut around it, and instead of talking about the things that I wanted to talk about during the time lapse, I'm just going to talk about some other stuff. So firstly, I guess what I'm going to do is just address a few of the most commonly asked questions that I get in my comments. The first being, is this route available for download? And is it available for Train, or when will it be available? And my first response for that is going to be, go check out my route tour video. That will tell you everything you need to know. But I'm going to be nice, and I will answer that question for you right now. The route is being created in Trainz A New Era. It will be available in parts, in sections, as I complete them. There is no release date yet. I'm hoping maybe by summertime. It really depends on what the next few months bring me. I have no idea what is in my future. I'm a freelancer and a photographer and this and that and the other thing. I got a million excuses, I know. But I'm hoping to release it hopefully by summertime. You should stick around, and you'll find out when. It'll be one chunk at a time, probably be about 6 or 7 sections of the route will be released little by little. So yeah, it's not available right now. It will be in the future. Stay tuned to find out more details. The second most asked question, I think, is what kind of computer am I running? And truth be told, my computer is really not that great. Honestly, it's pretty old. I bought it in 2009. It's just an HP desktop computer. I have upgraded it over the years. Currently, it has a Intel Core i5. I actually think it is a first generation Core i5. It is a 750 running at 2.67 gigahertz. I've upgraded the system to 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I've also added a GeForce GTX 960 The biggest thing that is holding me back currently, I think, is probably my motherboard and my CPU at the moment. I'm hoping to upgrade my computer sometime this year. If you follow any of my social media, not any of it, I guess Twitter and Snapchat, you'd know that I am researching how to build my own machine. It has been probably about 10 or 12 years since the last time I've built a computer, so I've got a little bit of catching up to do. I need to learn about all the new processors and chip types and all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing some research. Hopefully I could build something later this year. But right now, the system that I have works just fine. I get about, 40 frames per second if I'm just playing the game. When I record, I get anywhere between 20 and 30 frames per second. And a lot of times that's why I stick with the time lapse for the most part, because that's the only way to get consistent frame rates when I'm recording. When I go into live mode, getting a steady 30 frames per second to record is very difficult, and once it starts going out of sync, like, forget it. Like, the audio is going to go out of sync, and it's just a disaster to try to sync back up. So yeah, hopefully later this year I'll be able to upgrade my machine a little tiny bit. What else? Let me think. What else you guys are always asking me? You should follow my Twitter if you don't already. That's where I post pretty much all of my updates as to what's going on with the channel. I hope to keep adding different series. Right now I think I've got, 3 or 4 different series. I've got Trainz Model Railroad, I've got this one, and I've got the stories from the rails, and my tutorials. So I think that's 4. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So 4 is pretty good for now. I'm having a difficult enough time keeping up with all that. But, I hope to keep doing that and building on it and adding more stories and videos and series to the channel. What else? Special thanks to Jake. I'm going to mention it again in the outro. Jake is the guy who I was talking about in the intro, who gave me a ton of information about the coal mines. I'm not going to get into it because I'm just going to be repeating myself. Let's see, what else do you guys ask me? What software do I use to record? I use Bandicam. A lot of you guys have been asking me about that. It's right in my intro to this video series, right at the top. I haven't re-recorded a new intro yet, so it says right at the top, it's Bandicam. I find it to be great, very superior software. It records in, I think, MP4 files, so it's already compressed and everything. I don't have to do anything with it. Fraps, I used to use Fraps. I think it's not that great. That records a .avi file, which is very difficult to work with, and a lot of editing applications don't have the technology to decompress it or something. I don't know. It's just, I don't like it. I also use the Adobe Creative Suite, Creative Cloud, to edit my videos. I have Adobe Premiere to edit the video. I use Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Audition, and Adobe Lightroom is primarily what I use when recording and editing these videos. The microphone I'm using is a Rode I'm recording into an H4n is my audio interface, but my mic is a Rode NT1A. I just got it, and I love the sound of it. I hope you guys are enjoying the better sound quality. I'm still learning how to work with audio files and make them sound their best, but this is what I've got so far. So I think that's gonna do it. Pretty much everything else I talk about in the closing. So I'm just gonna let the music take over, and you guys just enjoy the rest of the time lapse. I'll see you in a few minutes. at all that smoke. Al Gore is not going to be happy about that. I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. Here we are in live mode. I got to get back into doing some cinematics, but I didn't feel like this area was completed enough to warrant an actual cinematic. There's still track that needs to be done, and you know, that kind of thing. So I figured we'll just fly through here and take a look at some of the work that I have done in the time lapse. So let's start right here. I love this dead end road. I really hate these houses with all this smoke, though. It made it really, really difficult to work. I had to put them on a separate layer and hide the layer a couple of times because it was just like, it was causing lag. I was getting, you'll see in the time lapse that there was some frame drops quite frequently, and it was driving me nuts, and I couldn't see what the heck I was doing. So yeah, I put them on a separate layer, hid the layer, and man, look at that. I wish there was a way to just turn this down. This is like ridiculous. Like, I know this is a coal mining town, but for God's sake. Anyway, so yeah, that looks pretty cool. I dig it. Let's fly our way down this way. Coming up probably in the next episode, I'm going to take care of this track because it definitely needs to be taken care of. And then I can maybe do some cinematics and we can move on. So yeah, all right, so down this way I put in an administrative building. Oh, yes, before I forget, Jake is the subscriber who gave me a whole bunch of information on coal mines. Let me bring up my email from him. He sent me a message and told me all kinds of stuff, like I mentioned in the beginning. He was telling me that typical of these places are administrative offices, a warehouse, mobile machinery and maintenance shop, which I think kind of looks like this doodad I put over here. Or he also said like a repair shop. He says stockpiles of ore, which we put in over here. Let's see. Most have some kind of wash bay for mobile equipment and light vehicles. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to add anything like that. Tipples, processing plants for coal, conveyor belts. Sorry, I'm reading off an email and I'm kind of probably making some crazy moves here. So let's just sit here. Conveyor belts, changing house, locker rooms for workers. He says that many mines also have on-site medical clinic, diesel and gasoline fueling facilities, settling ponds. He says very large mines have their own power plants, and that's something that I would like to add to this. I'm trying to decide where I want to put it. I'm not going to put a power plant in, but I'd like to put in a substation, and I was thinking maybe this area would be good. If not, maybe down this way. The thing is, I don't want to cluster this up too tight. I don't want it to be way too much in too much of a small area. I felt like I was kind of pushing the limit putting this administration office right here. But I think it looks great. Maybe I went a little bit crazy with the flowers in the front. I did put a couple flower pots on the sides, and then I thought it looked ridiculous, so I took them out. But I think that this is a nice touch. It looks good. The yellow marking stripe here looked pretty good too. I'm very happy about that. Jake also told me that coal mine facilities tend to be very clean places and very safe places. He said that they've gotten tickets for things like bottle caps and stuff being on the ground, so I'm not going to dirty this place up quite like I wanted to. Like, I might even clean up some of this. Man, that engine is loud. I might clean up some of this back here, but I think a little bit of debris is, makes it look lived in, so maybe I'll leave it. But Jake and anybody else who's out there, let me know where you guys think I should put some stuff here. Maybe the substation go over here, and I'm trying to decide what I'm going to put down this way. Obviously, a couple more parking lots might be in need. And probably some way to get coal from this guy, or from this big building into this guy, so that it can be loaded into the train cars. And also what other details I might be able to add in our coal piles here. It feels a little bare to me, but I didn't want to populate it too much with cat bulldozers and stuff like that if that's not really what it looks like. I know that this is probably a spot for trucks to be loaded. That's also kind of what I envisioned over here as well. And again, I'm no expert on this. I'm kind of just working with what the model looks like and trying to build around things that look realistic to me. And I think that gives a pretty good illusion. Another thing I'll need to decide what to do with is this little area here and over here. I kind of feel like too much scenery is going to look just like too much. Maybe a little bit would help. So yeah, that'll probably come once we come back over to the track work. And I know it's funny that I'm playing in Trainz here and I seem to be doing more detail work like way off of the train tracks. It's kind of bizarre, but I don't know. That's what I like doing, and you guys seem to be enjoying it, so I'm gonna keep on doing it. Let's see, what else did I want to go over with you guys? Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the bulk of the recap of the time lapse. I just worked on those areas. Coming up in the next episode, assuming I don't get too burned out and I have time to do more, we'll connect up some of this track, and maybe I don't know, whatever I'm feeling, maybe we'll work on this part of the town, or maybe we'll come over here and kind of connect up some more parking lots, put in some more administration offices and buildings, and if I could find like a locker room or something like that, or something that looks similar to a changing room for the workers, would be pretty cool. Yeah, so let's just take another quick look over here. I love this main street. It is just one of my favorite things so far, and I know you guys are going to put it right in the comments that none of these houses have stairways leading up to their front porches. I know. I don't know what to do about that. Is there a stairway asset on the download station? If there is, let me know. I'm just going to leave it out for now and pretend that it's just out of view. But yeah, a lot of them do not. I'm going to slow down a little bit so you guys can see what we're doing, what we're looking at. But yeah, they don't have stairs going up to the porches. Whatever. It is what it is. This is, I got to work with what I've got and what is available on the download station. But I definitely like that some of these houses have foundations, so I could build them into the side of the hill. And that really, that gives a little bit more of a dynamic to the town here. It's not all the houses are on the same plane. Some are a little bit higher, some are a little bit lower. And I didn't want to give them driveways because from the photos that I've seen of these little coal mine towns, a lot of the time, look at this smoke. A lot of the times these guys are just kind of ramshackle towns. The houses were put up quick, and they just park their cars right there. So yeah, I guess that is going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for all the love and support so far. If you're not subscribed, I've noticed that a lot of people, a lot of you guys are watching my episodes, but something like 75% are not subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.